Well, it's 5:30. I'll call the meeting. You have a quorum. And I think Frank was gonna call in.
Yeah.
So. See him up there yet, but.
There's 6 members?
Five.
Joanna and Frank.
Frank.
Okay.
And Don Downey wanted to excuse himself from tonight's meeting. We won't be able to.
Who did?
Don Town.
Oh,
Okay. Do we have to do a roll call or?
We're supposed to.
That was.
I think so, yeah.
Not the first meeting.
I don't remember.
Well, I thought it was every meeting that it just.
I
went
think
in.
it's every
Just
meeting.
say it.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
here, Mike Jackson.
Jumping out.
Andrew DeGanzik.
Oh, by the way, I saw in the minutes you said Mike Jackson didn't attend the meeting. Well, I was excused because I told everybody I wasn't gonna be there.
Right.
Don't you say excused as opposed to he didn't attend, like he just didn't show up?
I'll remember. I'll remember.
You'll have to amend it, but for the record.
I'll
Okay.
remember.
The meeting was properly noticed. I saw it today. No owner comments. I will make a motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from the prior meeting unless you want to change something. Otherwise, I'll make a motion to approve them.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
May.
Okay. It's a joke. Yeah. All right, so we go on to the May financial review. Frank, or Ray, I appreciate your answers for what I said. I don't know if you guys all saw it.
Yeah.
But
There's Frank.
obviously it was a rough month from the deficit standpoint.
You're muted, Mike. Frank.
Hi, Frank. Welcome. We're up to the May financial review, so. Like I said, I appreciate the answers you gave me and. I don't really have much else to talk about because you explained everything pretty well as to why we were so much in a deficit. It's a question of whether, some of this now will, I know we caught up on the mulch and things like that as far as the year-to-date numbers. Watering of the passive parks. I live kitty corner to the one that's in Highland Village, and there are days where that goes off. And the water is only about coming out of the pipes like this far. It's barely even coming out. So it just is hitting the same place all the time. But Parks and Rec doesn't seem to ever go down there to look and see it. So hopefully with the rain that's forecast, things will get better. But, the water is pretty high for passive parks.
Yes,
Yeah. So anybody have any other comments?
The only other comment I had was around Lakeside Pool. I guess it seems like there's been some additional expenses there, and I thought there was a decent amount of spend last year to kind of get that to where we needed it to be serviceable and in a good condition, but it seems like we're running into more issues this year. So is there anything you can share that, are they truly new issues? Is something else breaking? Did we not take care of something last year that we should have? What's kind of the status of that? Because it seems like we're continuing to put more money out there.
Yeah, I believe there's a crack at the bottom of the pool that needs to be redone, and I believe they're emptying the pool entirely to be able to fix that and then refill it again. Lauren, do you have any other explanation for the Lakeside current issues that we're having with the pool?
You may be on mute, Lauren.
Sorry. Have you split out the splash pad expenses yet, Ray?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, outside of that, I know there's been a lot of small repairs. Been some lights that have popped out that had to be put back in by the vendor. It's just a lot of small stuff that's code compliance related.
And none of it has to do with, right, we did the pool resurfacing last year, so it's nothing to do with the work that was done or anything that would be still covered under warranty.
Well,
That is
so
a-
the crack, the expenditures, no, but the crack that Ray mentioned is being repaired temporarily under warranty. And we issued an RFP last week to do a full repair. The delamination that we experienced at Spring Park, because there were just too many layers put on top of each other, is what's happening at Lakeside. So we need to address doing a full tear down to the base, the shell of the pool, and redoing the resurfacing and the tile work. We have 2 new bids, and then Deja Blue is willing to do the work and provide a discount. So those will be in front of the board in July. But that will all be a reserve expenditure.
At the workshop, when I heard that discussed there, I think Jacob was reading from the text, and he said that we didn't take the option to replace that particular area, whatever it was, in
It
the
was-
initial work.
So what he was talking about was the vendor we originally had in the scope to replace the tile work in the pool, both at the water line and the swim lane lines. The vendor said that this resurfacing could be done without doing that, but now it's looking like that's causing some of the issue, and then there's just too many layers on top of each other. So the new scope is to redo all the tile, take it down to the shell, and resurface the pool.
The thing I was gonna ask, I thought I heard him say that whatever that work was that we passed on, there was an option in the bid for 23,000 to do it. And then the bid from that company was like 40 to 80,000, and then another one was way above that. So I was wondering how we got way above the 23, if that's what he was actually talking about.
So the 23 was just for adding the tile work to the original resurfacing that was done last year. We opted not to do the tile work because the vendor suggested that it didn't need to be done. Now we're finding that the tile work needs to be redone and the full resurfacing needs to be redone, and a demo down to the shell of the pool because there's been too many resurfacing layers done on top of each other.
Yeah, I just hope that, being that how old it is, that they do everything that they need to at one time. I mean, to get it done, so it doesn't have to keep going.
Yeah, we rewrote the scope completely last week before we issued the RFP. So it's done correctly the first time, and Luis, our director of facilities, was heavily involved in writing that scope.
Okay, good.
And I'm assuming that since we just did the resurfacing last year, this isn't really anything that's reserved, that most likely will need to come out of capital to do these fixes.
No, it's coming out of reserves.
Okay. And then I guess holistically, do we have potentially similar issues with other pools that we need to maybe be more planful of potential issues that are going to be coming up sooner than later?
The only other pool that we were seeing those issues were Spring Park, and the vendor redid that at no cost to the association last year.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's it.
Oh, the only other comment I was going to make is, Ray, appreciate you doing the cleanup on the cash movement between doing due to or due from. So that's a lot cleaner on the balance sheet. So thank you for doing that.
Two quick things. One, I just want to point out the cash, we've got $1.5 million in cash. But you always have to look down at the prepaid and the deferred, because that's money we're getting in advance that we're not going to get in the future, and we're just timing the use of that cash, so to speak. in accrual accounting versus cash. If we start spending this money, we won't have the money when we really need it to cover later. When we got the expenses coming in from a matching standpoint. I mean,
Right.
okay, so we're not fat and happy with $1.5 million there because the defers are $1.7 million between the two of them. So we basically, that should almost be like restricted money that we're gonna bring in over time as we earn it. You're looking at me like, you know,
No, I'm listening.
Yeah. as we earn it. And that'll match up with the expenses that we have over time over the next several months too. Most of this is probably the apartments that created this as they came in because they pay by the year.
Yeah.
So I mean, that builds it up. There's a few residents I understand that pay by the year and there's some pay quarterly. So those are smaller impacts, but the impact of this one is much larger.
Actually, it would be pretty good if you could send us the list of where the deferred number comes from. Like, do you
Who
have,
makes it up?
yeah, what makes up?
Okay.
So that way we can see how much of it is apartments versus residents. Because I mean, if it's residents, that's because, you know, we're paying for the year.
Yeah.
Or something ahead, and
There's gonna be many of those.
I can't believe there's
No,
that many.
it's gonna be apartments primarily.
That's,
But just so we have the mindset that,
Yeah.
you know, we don't have $1.5 million to spend there. We don't have a bunch of liquidity. We do, we can spend it, but then expenses are gonna come in later and that cash isn't gonna be there.
but if it's mostly apartments, that happens almost every year.
Right.
So,
We're a little tighter because of our 5-year history. We're a little tighter on cash now, especially in the operating fund.
Yeah.
We burned up all our float, basically.
again, you gotta remember, there's more and more houses being sold in the Island Village Phase 2 that will help.
Yeah, and all the
You're-
capital stuff.
You're already
Yeah.
receiving those dues though from Mattamy because they've been platted, so there's no additional dues money that's gonna come in.
Other than trash.
We'll get the capital stuff.
Well,
That's a
trash is a
pass-through.
pass-through.
That's
Yeah, I
a
know,
pass-through.
I know.
So that doesn't help.
And actually at
Um,
trash, you're running a deficit because remember after we approved the budget, the
Right.
tipping fees increased. So without the new doors, you were looking at a $16,000 a year deficit just associated with trash. But with new doors, that deficit can climb.
So talking about houses, I'll just make this comment now. So I looked at the year-to-date, sales, 183, and if you annualize those, and we just continue at the same rate, that'd give us a 439 annualized number from sales. I suspect that will probably be hit, we're pretty damn close to it, because we're gonna be back end loaded as the homes keep coming online out of Highland Village. And our 757,591. That's our collections and capital improvement assessments. If you divide that by the 183, that's an average of 4,139 per house. Just looking at it that way. So that's right in the sweet spot that we talked about. That means if you divide it by the 0.5%, that means the average house that so far this year, those 183 homes, was $827,968. So that's really right where we are. I think we budgeted 375 for the houses for the year.
400, I believe.
Did we go 400?
I think.
Okay, so we popped 400.
Nothing was that high.
I think we're 375 sticks in my head, whatever it is.
I'll check now.
But I think we're gonna be over 400. So that's looking pretty nice when you look year to date. It looked a little weak in the last period, but I looked at it year to date.
Through May, it's 192 homes.
I have 183 off the shoot. Really?
Shoot, I sent you.
My number
It's on
matches Jim's.
there. Yeah,
Maybe I picked up the wrong
Which
one.
is-
We'll try right now.
yeah, it's 192 of which 52 are from Island Village.
On the recap summary, it's 183. So I pulled that number up there, the 2-page recap,
Right.
the short
You
version.
looked at what I sent today, you see it's 192.
Does that include some in this particular month?
No.
Okay.
No,
'Cause this is a cutoff, 183.
right,
Yeah, I
but
brought
that
my
was
report.
before month end.
Yeah, I brought my report, I think the 11th.
Right,
Okay.
because, or when it ended, because Osceola County always takes another couple
Yeah.
weeks to close everything that previous month.
Probably make the numbers even better,
So-
projection for the year.
Yeah, except that, right now, there's only, 20 homes under contract that have not been closed. Village Phase Two, and out of that 192, that's 52 homes that closed in Island Village. So we're already seeing, and June and July, and August are usually slow months.
I was gonna say seasonality, I don't think you can
Right.
do it first half or second half.
I think it'll
There'll be a
pick
little
up.
lull, but then I think
Right.
toward the end of the year, as they come on,
It'll come
hopefully
back on.
you'll come back on, but I think 375 is fairly easy to hit.
Yeah,
400 is
We're
more
gonna go
likely,
over
and then
that.
yeah, I think we'll be over it, but
Yeah.
it's just gonna come.
it'll ebb and flow a little bit.
Yeah.
Right.
That's all I had there.
400 of 750, that's the budget. 400,
Sales at 750 average price.
That's what we had.
Which I think
On 7 we lowered the
we had
price.
it, yeah, but I think it was like
We had
400
800.
at 750 or 375 at
Yeah.
825.
We lowered the price when we went to 400.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right now, through May, we're averaging 824,000. It's again, that's a lot to do with Island Village.
Okay.
A lot of them are the bigger homes that they're building now. Okay, any other questions on May? All right, let's move on to the accounts receivable. Any comments, questions?
I assume that the Windsor's still outstanding.
Yes,
Any progress with them?
they're already in collections.
but no updates so far.
Unfortunately, with Windsor, unlike the apartments, most of their residents do not utilize the amenities, so that's not a huge leverage for us.
Yeah, they've been a pretty good neighbor though with a lot of different things, so I think they would pay what they're supposed to pay by contract.
Yeah.
Lauren, I sent you the name of the guy that kind of runs the place out of California. Remember, it's Richard Ackerman.
Mhm. Yeah, we have local contacts because we drive out there once a quarter and help them get IDs and
Right,
with their CROA information. So we'll continue to try to work those.
okay. I know I've called that or sent notes to that Richard Ackerman a couple times when we were at the foundation and was able to get some movement, but they're managing cash. They're just a big investment firm, hedge fund. Okay. What about Story? Are we on track with them?
Yeah.
Still there? Will it clear in October then?
That's the plan, yeah.
Good. That's a good deal. Any other issues with accounts receivable? And Windsor is what, 100 and some thousand?
138.
There's no. Okay. Good.
Okay. Fund balances. Yeah, I don't know if you guys had a chance to look at my forecast that I put together, but with the fact that we have earned 820 or 800,000 in capital fees through the first 5 months, I do believe we'll exceed our budget for capital fee collections or capital fee earning, put it that way.
Does that correlate to the capital balance at the end of the year? The 1,000,006 or so?
1,400,000.
1,006. Close.
This one from resales?
Hmm?
1.5.
From resales. That's the number that we have for the year, for this year.
Yeah, the budget number was 1.5 million.
Okay, all
Yeah,
right. So if we're 800 now, again, Island Village Phase 2, they're continuing to really build as much as they can. It's a question of sales. And, but a lot of people from the Midwest and the Northeast, and California are moving there. So that's a
Good draw.
interesting thing. And they're actually reducing prices, to attract more people. So it's quite interesting.
Why would they be reducing prices with demand so good?
Just because like they've had 9 townhomes in, Phase 2A that have not sold. And they're the only things that are built that have not sold.
How many townhomes are in,
Uh,
townhomes in phase 2A?
2A, I'd have to,
Sounds like 170 or something.
Oh, it's close to 200.
300?
no, because there was only, in Phase 2A, there's only 83 homes.
Okay.
It's about half. And it's actually, there's a lot of townhomes in Phase 2B. And, one of the realtors, the Madame Realtors, she drives down there, I'm walking my dog, she stops, talked to me. And she said, just to let you know, I've talked to our bosses and told them we're going to build too many townhomes. Could we switch it to homes? But I don't think it's going to happen. So.
It is happening in 4.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they cut out townhomes and added in single family homes.
Oh, wow. All right. Who told you
They're
that?
still going, Tanner, I meet with him monthly.
Oh, good, good.
So
How big is
There.
4? How many homes?
couple hundred. It's bigger than 2.
Yeah, that's gonna be good.
Yeah, they've already started clearing out 3. It's Phase 3. So,
They plan to
but-
plat 3 in the next couple of months.
oh. Yeah, because, I mean, they still got a lot to build in Phase 2B. So,
I mean, the truck can transform
but
into a truck that
I think we'll be in
doesn't have a
good shape.
top.
I think we'll be in good shape, yeah. And I was glad to see the intercompany go from 800 down to 6 something. So that's a very positive step. So that's good. Reserve, quite frankly, I haven't looked at, I mean, I know downtown's talked about how much spending there was in the workshop. But hopefully we'll keep the reserve under control, just so we don't go too far under $1 million by the end of the year. But I think capital is gonna be okay. So. Any other questions, comments on funds?
I guess with capital right now, it's 1.3. 550,000 is earmarked for the rest of 851. And then there's the pool, right? That's another 400.
Yeah, the heater.
So we have about $1 million outlaid right now of that 1.3.
Yeah,
Anything else
I
beyond
think
that
I
at the
think the
moment?
pool heater is gonna be lower than that, not $400,000.
Yeah.
I think closer to
Was it 3?
300,000. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that'll be to keep an eye on that. So in the event that does start building up, if we have the opportunity to put in, a 3 or 6 month T-bill for a few $100,000 as we try to build that up toward the end of the year for potentially the multi-purpose courts, something to think about. Rather than
Pool
just having-
heaters, 289,000.
yeah, that's right.
That's our share.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
our share.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we think we're gonna start spending in July.
That's, yeah. We had it in,
Initial forecast, we had it much earlier, but,
Yeah.
Madam hasn't reached out to us yet.
No, they haven't. They haven't really done much on the pool lately. At least what I
Well-
saw before I left.
Lauren, am I correct? I think I heard that the pool heater was already installed or in the process already, or not? Or am I wrong?
Yeah, it's pretty much done.
I've seen that. It's pretty much done. But, Lauren, have you heard anything about the estimate when they plan to open that?
He's telling me the end of this year, early next year for handing it off.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Because they need to
I
get more
said,
people.
no rush.
Right, exactly. Exactly. Because people in phase two that want to go to a pool, they're just going to phase one. So that's getting really crowded, but thank.
Just for
Cadence
this
is-
committee's awareness as well, we're doing a site walk of 5 parks on Monday that they want to pass off in the next month or so. So that's going to be an additional
Really?
expense. Yeah.
The ones in phase two B?
Yeah, Mattamy does not want to maintain them, but they are taking out a maintenance bond on the park. So if any of the parks are damaged by their construction activity or their subs, they will repair it, but they just don't want to maintain it. So we'll maintain it, but they'll fix anything that they break.
It's really interesting because some of those parks, I mean, they put the sod down, but there's absolutely nothing built around them.
Yep.
So, I mean, it's kind of weird that they'd be saying they want you to take them over.
It's cheaper for them to do all the parks at one time than to bring the vendors back out consistently.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, any other comments? Just any updates, Ray, on the capital fee collections transfers that after we talked last meeting about?
Yeah,
Just 25,000 more.
we did that, we
Yeah.
did $25,000, we did the transfer of the $56,000, which is the story payment, and we did the full transfer of the resales from April, which was 200 something, yeah.
But May should be about the same.
Yeah. Well, the resales, the sales for May, I think it's around 110, 120. Where, yeah. The number that I have. 122.
May?
Yeah.
You might want to look at that because I have 188.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Like I said, a bunch of them closed late
Yeah,
because they.
yeah, we'll probably recognize those now in June.
Yeah.
All the post, yeah.
So that's why. It was, April was 189, May was 189, they just about the
Yeah.
exact same number.
Yeah, we ended up transferring over $200,000 because exactly we recognized in April some of the sales from March. And, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
No, I appreciate it. It looks good. Okay. 2025 Crow audit draft report.
Yeah.
You have it?
I sent it to you guys. Yeah.
Oh, you did.
Yeah.
Or so.
Yeah. And,
Did you send it with all the other stuff?
yeah.
That was in
With the information for the meeting, with the information for the meeting.
Yeah. That's why it was added on the, it's the last document. Yes.
And maybe then scroll up far enough. I guess.
Yeah, it's 7 attachment. It should be this one.
Yeah, just this draft.
Yeah, that's it. We got the report on May 28th. I had the chance to review it or read it a week ago. The comments are positive. That just in journal entries went down from like 20 last year to 9. Out of those 9, 4 are RSM parks, so just 5 are ours. I haven't gone in detail about the other reports that they attach as supporting or backup for the information they're providing. I'll work on that as well. I just want you guys to have the report and go through it. Yeah, I know the goal was. Now, there's one issue. I know, Andrew, that you were talking about bringing over the auditors in July. I've reached out twice to them, asking about their availability for July and also asking them about their thoughts about changing from accrual basis to cash basis on the capital and reserve fund. We haven't gotten any response out of that. They respond to some items in my emails, but those items are many. Basically.
Okay.
Yeah. So just that
Well, it'll be interesting when they get back to you. Okay, thanks.
Yeah, and I guess on those journal entries, you don't have any concern reviewing them? I mean, I think the biggest one was only depreciation expense.
Yeah.
But everything else was pretty minimal.
Yeah, there's 2 for service areas, the depreciation one. And like the standard.
And
ones.
even different service areas. They were quite small too,
Yeah.
outside of ours, and we had quite a few,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, for
just some
me,
small dollar amounts, so much cleaner than last year.
yeah, I feel happy about it.
Yeah, I mean, it was really similar to last year regarding what they produced, so.
Yeah.
Nothing that I saw that was concerning.
But I'll definitely do that.
Yeah, okay. So you haven't heard on the 2027 budget from, where are we with Grand Manners and the budget?
Yeah, so we're already working on the first draft. We already have some rough high level numbers. I sent the first file today to Laura and Jacob so they can just sit on it, review everything in detail, and then we'll have a third meeting on Monday. Our goal is to be able to share the budget draft next week.
Okay.
And then, of course, we'll have a review with the board on the workshop meeting. And that's why we were thinking about seeing if you guys were available for June 30th to do a first review of the budget before we meet with the board.
Is that a little early? But usually you met with the board in August. We had July to do a few iterations or some back and forth between the committee and Grand Manners
yeah.
before presenting anything to the board.
Yeah. Laura, anything to say on that?
Yeah, we had some board members express a desire to see the budget earlier in the process so they could be aware of the various iterations. So, and there are some items operationally that we do want board input on. They impact staffing levels. So before we get too deep into a budget and into a number with the finance committee, we want the board to make some decisions there.
I also think it's easier for us if we have a half year through, we can kind of extrapolate what the rest of the year looks like rather than looking at through May, trying to decipher certain things.
Yeah, actually, the first draft we did it up to April because we're just reviewing May now. The second draft that we put this work will include the May actions. Yeah.
And that might be something, I don't know if that's where the finance committee doesn't have any input on Grand Manners' first view to the board. And then from there, that's when we start coming in after. Because even if we look at it in June, they might have their own thoughts on what they're looking to do for certain things. If you have questions on staff or other stuff of that nature.
I think we've got to not let them get ahead of it and lock in on some numbers. You know, people said we want to be under 10%, or one year we're going to have a 0% increase, or those kind of things. We're shooting ourselves in the foot. I mean, as I said, we basically used up all our liquidity. We had all our cash flow that we had in the operation with these losses over the last few years. You saw what I sent out in 5 years. It's there. And now we've got hurdles with the CJC money. Are we going to put the capital money back in, the 225,000? You start adding all those up, and then there's other things that are going to hit us. What is the Bermuda grass, and what else did I see? Talk about AV equipment, cameras. Whether they hit the operating or they hit the capital, it doesn't really make much difference.
Cameras are repaired.
And the pool's going to be 289,000. That's another number coming in.
That's capital.
That's capital.
Yeah.
So and you saw what I said. I mean, we're going to have an increase of the range of 15% probably at a minimum, with a decent inflation factor and with those other numbers and everything that's hitting it structurally.
Well, I think we got to look at it first. I mean,
Well, I think you
because
want to set some kind of expectation before you get there at a high level, because otherwise they seem to come at it from a low level and say this is where we want it to be. And that's
So
not worked for.
I would echo Mike's statement in that we've arbitrarily backed into a number over the last years. It's been an unrealistic budget, especially considering expenses that were coming down the road and the fact that you're an aging community. 15%, Mike, is a good baseline based on the numbers that I'm seeing in the last couple of meetings that we've had with Ray. And the biggest lever that we're seeing right now is that capital contribution out of operating. That's the biggest lever you can pull to adjust that percentage.
Or you mean the absolute number?
Yes.
The absolute number, you're talking about the 500?
The 500, yeah, the 500,000 that you contribute from the operating fund.
Right, and we took that down to 275 or
Right.
275 last year. So, yeah,
250.
if we're gonna put,
50.
I think it was 225, we ended up arguing over that. We compromised at 275. I wanted it to be 200 and Jim wanted it to be 250, and I think we compromised.
Yeah.
on two.
So 75 is the budget.
Yeah. I remember it well. So yeah, so that 225, that's gonna be 300 basis points damn near too.
Yep.
I mean, so
Well, I guess from your first iteration, do you have it at 275? Or are you trying to bump it back up to 500?
We have it up to 50.
250?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we gotta get that back up. I mean, to not have the residents paying something for our amenities, it just doesn't make any sense. And now the master planning meeting yesterday was talking about the civic center and trying to get that going. We want to start talking about that. I mean, we've got to start conditioning people to a much higher level of payment for what they're getting from an amenity perspective. Pull that down again.
I would pull that back from the impact perspective. The board's looking for a phased approach at development of Lot D. They're not looking to accelerate the development of the civic center.
I don't know how you build a civic center in phases.
I said development of Lot D. I didn't say building the civic center in phases.
Okay,
Yeah.
I would think it's more in planning, but on the capital side, you do have the resale fee, which if that comes in at 1.8, let's say, and you have the 250,000, you're at 2 million. Do you, if that continues and increases up to 2 million, do you still need to do the 250 or all that other stuff? That's a discussion to be had of,
That's a discussion.
that's a discussion later as far as, but that's where you're saying you need to bump it up. I don't necessarily think you do, depending on what the resales are and what the new number would be for Island Village and all those phases. So that's something where I think from a historical standpoint, you want to get back to that benchmark, but looking at it, I don't know if it's necessary.
Right now, the two major spendings, I think, are gonna be the maintenance shed and the multi-purpose sports halls.
But I will say to your point, yes, operating, we've been running a lean budget that has cut in the red that I think we need to be a bit more conservative this year on the operating piece of it. Yes.
we've got to get back to not making money on break even. I mean, we can't be losing 200,000 plus. Oops, sorry. And it's a spam call, do like that. We can't be losing $220,000 or whatever it is a year in cash. It makes no sense.
Which again, well, in looking at it from last year, right? I think some of it was the additional security for pools that was done in the summer and then
We can
maintenance.
rationalize
I know,
it.
but maintenance was really off. I think the past 2 years, we've
Yeah.
spent way more than what all of us thought was gonna be. So to Lauren's point on the Asian community, that's something that we need to account for more.
We need to consider a contingency that we aren't gonna have assigned to anything. So that when something does come up, we've got it, because something comes up every year. Every year, we've got several $100,000 that comes up. You start to add them all up.
I don't think it's just contingency. I think it's also more realistic, budgeting in terms of revenue and what it actually costs to run the community and run it
I
well.
agree, it's a combination of both. We got a budget for break even. And then a realistic budget for break even, and then have a contingency for the crazy stuff that comes up that we can't even fantasize right now.
Well, I think that's gonna hinder your ability to bump that capital contribution back up to 500, based on the numbers I'm seeing right now.
Yeah, not if you raise the percentage numbers.
Well, let's wait till we get a copy so we can start to go through it and look at it and see what we want to do with it.
I think we should hammer out some high-level structural guideposts to this thing before we get too deep into the weeds.
Well, let's talk a little bit about schedule, because I know you threw that out of
Yeah.
6:30 is where you want us to meet. So then they have their workshop in July. Then we have our second iteration in our July meeting. probably have another meeting in
Yeah,
August.
and
to
and it
go
would have to
through.
be clear to the board, that the finance committee did a preliminary look at it if we're gonna do it on June 30th. I mean, but not, it's not.
I won't
final,
be on
right?
June 30th. I'm out of town.
Well, did you mean finance meets on June 30th or a joint with the board on June 30th?
Not just finance. And it doesn't have to be on the 30th. We'll just look.
So you're just looking for a meeting prior to the workshop
Be in town.
in July.
Yeah, that's the problem. I'm leaving on 28th and I'm not back till July 8th. I can try to dial in from where I am. I'm not going overseas or anything. So,
But it doesn't have to be in June. I mean, when's the July workshop?
The 8th.
Oh, it is the, all right. Because technically we could meet the 6th or the 7th prior to their Wednesday meeting after the holidays.
and what do you want to accomplish in that
I don't
period?
know. That's what I'm saying. That we have some loose guidelines on what we're saying, right? Of these are the levers you can work with versus these are kind of non-starters of these need to be
But I think-
baked into the budget regardless.
Sorry, I think Ray and Lauren are suggesting that we're gonna be looking at the first pass of the budget in detail.
So,
We're gonna be into the weeds at that point.
Yeah, I mean, my goal is to get this first pass out to the committee and the board on Wednesday of next week. With the budget narrative like we provided last year. Then we would like to meet with this committee and do a line by line and talk about some of those potential non-negotiables or levers that you can pull. And then take it to the board for them to make some decisions on some staffing items and other policy decisions that they need to make, and then come back to the committee with those guideposts, and then we can do another deep dive.
What's it looking like right now, the pass that you've got? What range are you in?
I think 15 is a good baseline, but that does not include a fully funded capital contribution.
Does it include putting the two people back in, the vacancies that we created or that we didn't budget? Includes that
It
in there?
does, yes.
And it includes all the 230,000 or so for the CJC thing?
It includes CJC, it includes the new Island Village Amenity Center, the 13 new parks that we're gonna get. It fully funds all FTEs.
The property
And it-
tax.
Taxes we had it back.
Yeah, property taxes, it includes the, what's it? Includes the new landscaping contract numbers, the pool, chemical contract increase. We're waiting on some final details of the IT budget where we might find some wiggle room.
okay, well, what I'd suggest is we wait to see if you can get it out next Wednesday. As long as we have, at least a weekend in between to be able to look at it. For those that are still working, not me. But, so maybe, August 2nd, we could get together and just.
I will not
whoever's around.
be available July 2nd. Sorry, I'm out of office for my son's birthday.
Oh,
Yeah, I think either do it June 30th or
You're gonna
July
give it to the
7th.
finance committee and the board at the same time.
Yes. With the
that
same thing we did
necessary?
last year. We did
I
the
know, I'm
same thing
asking
last
if it's
year.
necessary.
I think for transparency, yes. It's the board's fiduciary responsibility, and this is an advisory committee.
all right, June 30th.
June 30th.
I can make that work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's make that work.
Same time, 5:10 to 7.
Sure.
Um,
It's not gonna be an official meeting.
Can we do the 30th? I'll call in, but the 30th won't work for me.
29th.
I can make the 28th. No, I can't. Jesus. No, I've got dinner with people. No.
Or the
Well,
first.
if you do it during the day,
I can do it during the
Huh?
day. But I
Yeah,
think
do it
Andrew
earlier?
works.
I prefer not to do it during the day or toward the end of the day.
You can, as long as you have time, you can go through and write everything down.
I will,
Just send it.
yeah.
That way,
I'd like to hear the dialogue, but
yeah, and I'll give you a call. Here, or you give me a call, available.
For 30 to 6, maybe, doesn't work for
Which
30 to
one?
6,
on which day?
the June 30th, or that Monday, June 29th.
No, I've got two events that evening, both those evenings.
Just
Wednesday.
stick with
Just forget it.
5:30.
Just forget it. Wednesday would work.
That's being generous, thinking it's only gonna be an hour and a half.
Well,
It's gonna be,
Maybe an
I would think, two. to-
What about Wednesday
2.5.
evening?
The first?
Yeah, it works for me.
I can make the Wednesday one.
oh, okay, all right, first.
Does Wednesday work for you, Lauren and Frank?
You're muted, Frank.
I can, yeah, I can make that work.
But it's not gonna be an official meeting, right?
You mean like recorded and everything, or
Well, I
for
don't
the
know.
agenda?
Well, it is if the board's there, right?
No, the
Board's
board's
not
not
Where's
gonna
that
be
gonna be here?
No, it's not.
Or
Okay.
No, it's-
It'll be a meeting, but
Lau-
we're not gonna have an agenda or anything. It's just budget discussion.
Yeah,
One topic.
so,
Can we do 2 hours, Lauren?
Yeah, hour and a half, 2 hours.
yeah, whatever we need.
What time are you gonna start?
5:30.
That'll be 4:30, Ryan.
Okay. Gonna send it out then, right?
And when will we get the material?
the goal is Wednesday next week.
25th or 24th.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, the 24th.
Good.
great.
Mike, do you want printed copies?
Yeah, please, I can take them with me.
Okay, yeah, I'll print out on 11 by 17.
Great. That'll be Wednesday. I'll pick them up or something like that, or you'll call me or text me or something.
Yeah, I'll text you when they're ready.
Okay.
Do you want the budget narrative printed as well?
Please.
Okay.
You're talking about the tabs, right?
No, she's talking about the.
Well, I'll
document
print
that
the
she
tabs, but you
narrates.
remember the Word document that we started last year? That was kind of a summary of the thought process behind the budget.
Yeah, please. Yep.
Okay. Moving on, 2026 reserve fund expenditures. Have you got that done, or as to an update of all the spending,
Oh, what's?
or what's been approved? I've gone through the board meetings, I'm at like 859,000 in the reserve.
No, I have to go back and update that file. I haven't been able to update that file like in the last 2 months.
Okay,
Yeah, but I'll work on it.
all right, that's fine. So we'll wait till you get to do that. And we'll talk about the 2027 reserve study funding requirements after we get the budget. Well, somebody wants to comment on it now.
What did you put it in at right now for the budget? Is it $1.4 million or something?
$1,477,000.
That's where it's been.
All right. Okay, any additional topics anyone wants to discuss?
I guess just based on that number, that's based on the reserve study done 2 years ago.
Yes.
Okay.
different topics, yeah, a couple quick ones and then one big one. What's the status on the NEVs? If we don't have it handy, if you could just write it up or something, or where you're in the process of selling them, are they sold?
The NEVs are up for sale right now. It's a closed bid process. They're on the website. We've been advertising them. We're even doing external advertisements. I've gotten 4 bids so far. It closes on July 15th.
Are the bids you've got for bits and parts, or are they for in total?
For total, it's buyer beware, take it all.
Okay. Lauren, 2 meetings ago, we talked about the fee that we're getting charged for the, I think, the resident statements or something like that. And you said that was in the contract, and I asked for a copy of that.
Yes.
Can you
The
give me
exhibit
that?
Yeah, the exhibit was sent out and I can resend it.
You sent it to me?
I sent it to the whole committee.
I didn't get it.
I don't remember seeing it.
I don't remember either.
I'll
Nobody here
resend it.
remembers it. Thank
Okay,
you.
I'll
Thank
resend
you.
it. Yep.
And then I've talked to Lauren about holding a class so I can learn how to get on the financial systems. And I want to
Yeah.
find something out. And can you set that up? I know we're all gonna have tough schedules, but somebody else might want to do that too, but I definitely want to be able to access the system. I tried and I can't get it.
Yep. I made sure you
Yeah,
all
the
had
board
access earlier today. Yeah, through the board portal. So I can do a little video how to, and then anybody else who wants additional help to schedule time with me.
That'd be great.
Yeah, because
I've tried.
I was able to get on, but then this material, it's not either populating or it's frozen. Won't let me get past that first screen that comes up. It looks like I'm in, but I can't do anything. I don't think I
Okay.
would know how to navigate anyway.
No problem.
Okay, thanks. The last one, you're going to be talking to the board about the year-end projection or the balances and so on?
Yeah.
Are we gonna be part of that process to talk about it, or how's that gonna get done?
Well, I haven't started yet. Was focusing on the budget this week. I have still some work left to do. I'm gonna be working on tomorrow. I was planning on starting to work on the forecast Monday. So hopefully by Tuesday I have it ready. Already Laura and Jacob would have reviewed by then, and then I can share it with you guys. But yeah, we're short on time. Yeah, like last time.
Okay, I'm just concerned that we seem to have 2 different forecasts going on. You know, you're doing one every so often, Jim's got one that's running all the time. And we just need to bring that together somehow. That would be my suggestion. And we should have collaboration, sharing it,
I don't disagree with that.
okay?
When is that deliverable to the board?
Wednesday.
And we don't got-
Wednesdays.
we don't get much time.
Well, they wanted it for the previous workshop, and I just couldn't make it on time. So yeah.
Well, I never understood that because it was supposed to be after June was done. It's after 6 months. So I don't know why they wanted. You
Well, I
should be
think-
able to complete, I mean, it's like any company I was with, if you were gonna do something like that.
Yeah, you do a
wait-
mid-year of the first 6 months, right?
Right, you'd wait until the first 6 months are done, closed.
Yeah, well, this was
Then you would-
Katie's request because they're paying off the bills on 851 and just wanted to know where the accountant's gonna be and. Right, Katie made the request,
Oh, Lauren is not there,
or where it's going.
but I believe so, yes.
Okay, I know that you did. I don't think it's gonna be that hard. To pull it together. Now, you did the one back in February, you put together a. Thing that we talked about. I went back and looked at that and, you know, you handicapped the fees, the resident fees and the, capital collections. And both of those are performing at budget or right at budget or over budget. So,
Yeah.
so those handicaps are gone.
Yeah.
I mean, they're gone.
Yeah.
And both your other adjustments were just little tinkering here and there.
Mhm.
Those were the 2 big ones as I remember. it.
Yeah.
So I think if you kind of maybe take Jim's information that he sent out and your knowledge and work from that, I think you can get to something pretty quickly.
That'll make it easier for you, yeah.
I think it'll make it real easy for you.
You just
Whatever
go.
makes it easier,
Yeah,
yeah, trust me.
yeah.
But I think it's accurate.
But
I think it's
I'd be happy to
accurate
get
too.
together with you if you want to.
I think it's accurate. And I'm just going off the capital fund. That right now shows a capital fund at year end about 1,600,000. I think it's gonna be over that a little bit. I think it's gonna push maybe to 2 million, but it is what it is.
Yeah, we, with the forecast that we added to the budget exercise, we have the number at 1.750 right now. We increased it a little bit.
On the capital fund,
Yeah, on their sales, on the resales.
on the resales.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, I'm talking about the balance in the capital fund at year end.
yeah, that which is gonna like have an impact on us, yeah.
That'll have an impact on it, but there's still money to come out of there.
Yeah, and in the previous forecast, I didn't have that we were gonna transfer to storage payments to capital either, so that's a new thing that we're gonna be integrating. I'm gonna integrate the $25,000 that we're gonna be transferring on a monthly basis as well. So yeah, I'll have to do the whole exercise. But
Right, and a lot depend, I mean, the multi-purpose sports courts, if we start paying. If master planning sees that we have enough. That's why it's in my forecast to do it in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and you gotta take that out and add that back in. That's why I think you'd be over 2 million. You got 400 in or something like that?
Yeah, 4 or 600.
Yeah, so that's why I'm saying it's gonna be two, in my mind, it's gonna be 2 million, because you should look at it without the sports courts. You get to a gross number.
But if it's a forecast. So if you're forecasting to start working on those.
They
Yeah, but
gotta
I
be
would,
ready.
I would, I would
Residents
do the
want it.
forecast without any new or above projects. I
They aren't
think
gonna be
that's the
ready
point
anyway.
where I think from a board perspective, if you show a 2 million number without anything being taken out for it, then you can explain the story of there's adequate funds for it versus you're already penciling it in. That's what it is. But I would go back to your estimate of, I would almost stick to the budget of, for the second half of the year, it's 750,000 for that. I wouldn't bump it up to 1.7 and be a bit more conservative, because who knows what that's gonna look like, and we've been burned by Mattamy prior on expectation of things coming in and everything else, so rather than be overly aggressive to say there's a higher number in capital, let's be true to what the budget is, and we still support it.
I'd be realistic, and I think it's gonna be well over 400 sales. Well over 400. It's gonna approach 450.
Well, again, I don't disagree with you, but forecast is forecast, right? It's our best guess of what's happening in the future. So,
And
And you're right, but we're forecasting to see if we can do that project and when we can start it then.
right,
So when you come with the 2 million,
yeah, you can take it out and say, okay, we'll be at 2 million, so yeah, let's put it back in because we're gonna start
Yeah.
working on it.
then you'll bring it back in, but you wanna have the gross number, I think, to begin with. I'd like to make the decision. on it.
and again, we haven't committed to that project yet.
No, it's
So
not. It's
that's
still,
where
it's still
I
a
think,
variable.
yeah, from a forecast perspective, you want to do that in December, whatever the expenses are, but leave it out so that conversation can be had, because who knows what may pop up throughout the year that they need to allocate for something else.
Okay, but a lot of residents are very interested in it. I know that.
Oh, I agree. It's gonna happen. It's just a matter of time.
And I think it's an easier story to say, if that comes in at just say 1.5 million and you have capital of 2 million, there's adequate income to pay for it versus if you take the 400,000 out and then you gotta say, well, I already budgeted some of it in here and then there's another 1.2, so
But that's,
it's just
that's,
making
that's,
a harder story to tell.
but that's also a decision by master planning. Right? To say, okay, is there enough in here? And then go to the board and say, we'd like to start this project. That's the way it works.
Like, finance is one that's gonna say, is there adequate income based on what it is? And then from there, the master plan will take it.
What's gonna happen is, the RFP is gonna go out at the end of July. You're gonna get it back into August, September.
Right.
And then you're gonna be looking at a big number, and then you're gonna be doing value engineering for the next couple of months or whatever it is. You're gonna be ready to even think about letting a contract until January, February anyway. The value, and there's gonna be value engineering. I mean, that thing's gonna come in at 2 million plus.
That's, we'll see. I don't know. I don't know that. I mean, it could come over 3 million plus 2. I don't know. Until we get it, until we get the RFP out and find out what the cost is, then we can decide.
Why don't we earmark the multipurpose course for January instead of December? Just have it
Let's
that way.
wait, let's see what we have in the capital fund. I mean, that's to me, if we're continuing to sell homes at a good rate. And and the board doesn't approve any other capital projects. And we have just the heater, finish up 851. Then we're gonna have plenty, if house sales continue, we'll have plenty of money to start in the fourth. That's my opinion.
There was talk at the master planning meeting about prioritization and should the shed be before the courts or not? The shed that's not even in concept yet.
I know.
Location's not even been determined.
That's why.
But they're already talking about it
That's
being
why I volunteered on
inserted.
the committee to,
You're gonna lead that is what I heard.
yes.
Good luck with that.
Well, yeah, because I understand there's gonna have to be something more, but I really wanna talk to the guys in the maintenance shed that I'm gonna get their understanding.
I think we should be working with CDD and have one giant complex on.
I'll be talking to them too. So,
Well, and this conversation that we had sooner of, if it's insufficient where it's at, are you gonna have to sacrifice some of Lot D? You know, that's the only other option in Celebration unless you do something with
There's
CBD.
plenty of room in
But-
Lot D. What are you gonna build there? You're gonna build a 15,000 two-story civic center.
why would you
There's plenty of
get,
space.
why would you get rid of the maintenance shed there when you have Duke and Smart
Well,
City there?
You're not gonna get rid of it, it's just, there's
Let me just store it.
constraint on what you can do with
Right.
it. Very,
So-
very strong constraints.
To me, the most logical thing is if you wanted to build a second one, you should build it on the way to Island Village. Because Island Village,
Biggest
when
fun,
all
you
is
got the
said and
land.
done, is gonna be by far the biggest area in all of
I
Celebration.
agree.
Well, that,
the land.
Yeah, they could negotiate with Mattamy on when you taking Celebration Boulevard down into Island Village. You go to the left, there's all kinds of land there. So,
Buildable?
sure.
Is it protected lands or not?
And nobody brought that up and they said the only thing that we got from Mattamy was a one-stall garage.
Right, that's what they were
That's what-
doing in phase two.
We got a one-stall
phase three.
garage, that's it.
Yeah, but
There's
I
space to
mean,
build on behind the school, but that's got gas pipes and wires overhead.
right,
Good luck with that.
right.
Easements are all through there.
And that's another thing that maybe could be negotiated with Mattamy. To say, look at, if you do the one, give us a little bit more space, we'll pay for the rest of it. So,
Or is that something where as they talk about the parks, is that something that needs to be earmarked for grand managed to have some type of shed, all that type of stuff, right? That maybe the extensive use of all those parks that they're gonna be handing over needs to be for something else.
it's, and it's,
Something that.
I mean, they're,
But I agree with you
those
that,
parks are right in the middle.
I agree with you though, that there needs to be some type of structure in Island Village, cause that's gonna need something out there. You can't just
Yeah.
trust, everything coming from main village or the existing
No,
one.
but that's, we'd have to, I mean, somebody's gotta look and say, okay, what is the land of Mattamy homes that they got?
And again, how much
Right.
mileage is being wasted of them driving all the way back to Celebration
Because-
Avenue.
Because they did that, dirt road right before the bridge to go into phase two. Now, they're not really using it much anymore. They started to, but that means they must own that land all back there behind the trees. And if there's enough room there to just put in not a huge, but decent sized maintenance shed, and you still have trees in the front of it blocking it. They could just do one road out to Celebration Boulevard. You're all set. So.
I just go take a passive park and convert it and put a shed on it. How many passive parks do we have? 70?
Yeah. A lot.
We got land,
Yeah,
take up a
Yeah.
passive park,
That's
pick
good.
one,
that's another
That should be-
possibility
in the pot.
because.
Anyway, back to the forecast. I really hope we get a chance to see what you're going to do and give you input on it, so we have a consolidated opinion here, as opposed to the way we ended up the last time.
Yeah.
So can we get that done? So with the time frame you have?
Or at least provide a little feedback for what you have. So then it's not that someone saying a comment in a board meeting
Yeah.
that contradicts the work that you did. So it just looks cleaner
Yeah.
when it comes out of you know, we might not be able to do a thorough review, but hey, we looked at this and we saw a couple things that you might want to tweak before you
You
present.
remember how I danced the last time? You had that, came up to me during the meeting, before the meeting, and gave me the sheet and said, here's what I'm gonna be presenting today. And I had the other forecast, and they looked at me and I said, it's somewhere in between, bookends. I described it as bookends. And I said, either one, this was probably a little too good this year. I think it's gonna be in here, and it's gonna be up on this side. I'm gonna express my opinion, and I don't wanna be out there like a lone wolf. So if we can have some conversation before, then I can be on board.
Yes, I don't want to shoot myself in the foot, but yes, I'll do my best to have the work done maybe by end of day Monday or midday Tuesday, so that I can send it to you guys, and maybe you have the Tuesday afternoon to review it. But I don't want to tell you guys that yes, you have it Monday end of day, because that
Don't make it too complicated.
trust me, I don't want to.
Keep it simple.
That's the goal. Yes.
I mean, just keep it real simple.
Should be only 6 months too. That's nothing, right? Not a full year.
Just take the first half and add on 100% and yeah.
I don't know about that. That's a.
Are we adjourned?
Okay, I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Thank you.
Second.
All in favor?
See you, Frank.